All right, thank you for staying with us. Ogun State Governor Dakwa Abiodun has said the state-owned Agro-Cargo International Airport will be a game changer in the nation's aviation sector. The governor also revealed that the operations will begin before the end of the year, as many companies have started showing interest to relocate there, thus paving the way for the airport to be a commercial success in the aviation industry. He also said with the longest runway, the biggest apron and control tower, the cargo airport is destined to be the best in the country. Well, joining us in the studio to discuss more on this development is SSA on Public Communications to Ogun State Governor Dari Odufo-Okun. Good morning. It's good to see you again.
It's a pleasure being here.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Right. Your governor has spoken highly of this agro-cargo airport, but I want you to perhaps begin by telling us how much of a game changer this would be for the state, first of all, as the primary beneficiary, and then the nation at large.
Thank you for going into the books to dig up what my governor has been saying about the cargo airport.
Right.
But it's not just talking. That's the truth. I wish you will visit the site of this wonderful structure soon. The governor's statements are very modest. He shows his words carefully. Very modest. He didn't make much of a boast. I tell you that because what we have in Peru, the Gateway Agro-Cargo International Airport, is something Nigeria will be proud of in no time when it begins operation. And like the governor said recently in faraway Egypt, he was talking to investors and he said, if you choose to come to Nigeria, please make Ogun State your destination of choice, especially our special economic processing zone. And why? Because with the completion of the Agro-Cargo International Airport, we have opened up Ogun for business. We've opened up Ogun to the world. Because what we have there is not just an airport, but an economic upliftment for the state, for the Southwest Zone, for Nigeria, and even the African region. Here is an airport that will combine a lot of things. Cargo businesses and normal airport businesses. And the rate at which people want to be part of this now, looking at the advantage, the structures, the facilities. 84,000 square meters is our apron, the apron in the airport. That's the biggest you find in most places. The runway is one of the longest anybody have seen. The control tower boasts of the very best of facilities. Safety. We've had high-placed Nigerian officials landing in that airport, even before it became operational. That's to tell you that it has been certified, fit and proper by necessary authorities. So I cannot begin to enumerate. And then you begin to think of job creation. These are the advantages to the state. The opening up of new towns, I'll call it towns, around the area. And you will soon see the emergence of an economic zone that will be very vibrant in the sub-Saharan region. Because while the facilities would aid business, the commodities and the people who want to do business will converge with ease, in line with the governor's mantra of making Ogun a place where you have ease of doing business. So the Gateway Agro-Cargo International Airport is an edifice that is meant to address a lot of our socioeconomic questions and provide answers to them. And the investors already know. And that's why they are keying in droves.
Already. And the governor, Dakwa Abiodun, has also spoken about how the state, through this initiative, is also leveraging on its closeness to Nigeria's commercial capital. And people have always been saying it shouldn't just be Lagos. All states have what it takes. States should look inward. Tell us how this project now, how it hopes to match up with the achievements of Lagos State, how it has what it takes indeed, to be a pathfinder, so to speak, not just for Nigeria, but Africa.
Yeah, well, matching up with Lagos is one issue. Benefiting immensely from our closeness to Lagos is another. And that's our target for now. We'll match up with Lagos in no time if we continue at the pace Governor Dakwa Abiodun is going. But of course, this is democracy. He will do his bit. He will have to go. But if successive administration continues with this strength, we'll match up with Lagos. It may take time, but we'll get there. But today, the interest, the desire is, let's take advantage of our closeness, our proximity to Lagos. And you ask how, with this Agrocargo International Airport, take a look at the Lagos ports and the issues we always have about gridlocks, the delays in clearing things, because it is over-concentrated. With the Agrocargo Airport and our plan to have a dry port in Ogun State, all we need to do is fly your goods to our dry port that we're planning to put in place, somewhere in Kajola, and then get it cleared by men of customs and other agencies that will be there, reducing the pressure on Lagos. But if you do your clearing in Lagos and you want to move, you understand the traffic, the pressure on the road, and all that.
Well, the traffic has cleared.
And it's easier now to move your goods. The train passes through Ogun at every point. Move your goods to Ogun, clear them, and you have all the transport facilities that they land and down here that you can use to move yourself and your goods. So within the country, even outside the country, movement of goods and persons made easy. Made easy. And then look at people who lives in Ekpe, Lekki, Mowe, even to the corridors of Lagos, Ojodi-Bega, Ogba, Magodo. If you consider the gridlock from the airport in Lagos, it's better for you to land at Ikperu and drive traffic-free towards Lagos. Since where you are going is just, on the borders. So the advantages are enormous.
Not everyone will agree with you on this.
Well, we are telling you what you stand to gain. You'll be driving traffic-free. So take advantage of what we are offering. And life becomes easier for citizens of Ogun State and even people in Lagos who will benefit from what Governor Dakwa Abiodun is putting in place. And according to him, the airport will become operational before the end of this year. And knowing him for who he is, a man who studies the issues carefully and chooses his actions methodically, I am sure the airport will take off before the end of the year.
What is left? So if the airport, if we're saying it would perhaps towards the end of the year, what is left?
The airport is ready.
Okay.
But of course, one fitting there, one paperwork here and there. Then it's people that will work there.
Absolutely.
And we're also choosing carefully everybody that work in that place because it's all about safety. And then you begin to consider the number of people you have working there. The issues of job creation solved. Then cargo companies, other ancillary services that will be part of working in that place will also employ people from Ogun State. I know a few people who sneak in from neighboring states, or we may not mind, but the project is creating a huge bank for our youths and others to be employed. And then you talk of development of rural area. This is a project that fits in. If you go there, you see already the price of, the cost or the price of land in that area is not what it used to be already. You will see structures, estates springing up here and there. Everybody is planning to take advantage of what the governor has done in that place. And in a matter of a couple of years, I'll tell you, that vicinity will not be the same again.
Absolutely.
And so is the people. They won't be the same again. for better.
Now, he mentioned something about the jostle for concessional operations, and we saw on screen the pictures of him and some perhaps prospective investors, taking a look at that environment. I'd like for you to speak at
let me simplify it this way. That even when I go on air to talk about Ogun State, even when I don't talk about cargo airport, when I leave, people call in to ask me, please, how can we take advantage of the international cargo airport in Ikperu? And I have to relay it back. That's me. You can now imagine the governor, the commissioner in charge, the people supervising the project, the rate at which stakeholders, investors, interested parties are asking about the Agro-Cargo International Airport is enormous. And this confirmed the governor's earlier position that that airport, that project, is not only economically viable, but it will also be commercially beneficial for the state. It is not something, it's not a white elephant project. It's not a project for the future too far away. It's a project to make Ogun the state it should be. A lot of people are asking questions when it started. Is that the next thing? What are the things on ground for you to begin to...
Is that what the state needs?
Is that what the state needs? Yeah. Well, at that time, it may look like what the state does not, but the governor already saw into the future that we don't have to wait for this state to need it. If we have this, the state will need it. Now, everybody realizes that there's so much potential to tap once you have this kind of...
The people who are, being cynical about this project are looking at the state of the roads, for example, in Ogun State, especially the main access roads. And, there's been such a debate as to, okay, how good are the roads, and also the issue of even the development around. Because if you look at the airport here, it's in the central part of Lagos, so to speak, and then there's development all around. Okay. Can we say the same thing, at this location? Okay. I've been there. I know it's a fantastic place to be in. But in terms of development, okay. And the state of the roads, I want you to address those.
Let me first tell you, you talked about Lagos Airport, Ikeja. While I was growing up, Lagos was not. Ikeja was not the center of Lagos. Okay. I remember very well that the large expanse of land there were undeveloped. Development came to meet the airport there. That explains what we are talking about, why it's located. We expect the same thing to happen. Then talking about roads to the place, I wonder the road you took there, if you are talking about the road there not being good. If you take off from Lagos till you get to the Agro-Cargo Airport, I don't think you ride on a bad road. I'm very, very serious. How are you going? Are you going to Lagos Ibadan Airport? Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Tell me where you encounter bad road there. You got into Shagamu, you are on that Ijebu-Ode road, and you failed off into Ikperu. From that point till you get to the airport, it's tired. That's one. Then let me agree with you that everybody will not be coming from that route. You want to come in from Lagos Abeokuta Expressway. You are aware of the effort we are making to get that road from the federal government given to Ogun so that Ogun could fix it. And that just happened a few weeks ago. Federal government through the Ministry of agreed that, okay, fix the road. And the governor is doing all he can to ensure that work starts there. Of course, there are still paperwork to be sorted out. So you can understand that it's a well thought out project. You can't have this kind of can get to an edifice here and then it will not be accessible. No. So, and then you go, other roads that are lit in there are being, recently, in a matter of days, we started our 100 road projects in Ogun State across all local governments. So, inner roads, outer roads, primary and secondary roads are being taken care of, have been awarded. Work is starting on many of them because we realize and we agree with you that if we must get the right benefit from this international airport, it must be accessible. And not only from town, from the rural areas. Because some commodities we intend to promote and turn into foreign income earners will come from the interland. Right. And so roads are going to come from Oderemo, from Ikpara, from Orileoko, from Shiun, and other places. enroute that place.
Mr. you speak about the 100 road project of the government, but where does the Akute road, for example, which is a perennial nightmare, where does it fit into?
It fits into
this.
It fits into what we are talking. It fits into what you are talking about. A look at the Akute road will tell you that it needs attention, and the government is going to attend to it. Definitely. So there is no way you will overlook Akute Road when we talk about the need to fix road.
Because I asked this question,
but you must
get the buy-in. You know how this project, it's an ambitious project, it looks promising, but to get the buy-in of regular residents, who continue to talk about, this source on the road. So how do you calm their fears?
You spoke about one road out of many.
No, I'm talking about one that is always in the news.
Because
one of those that are always in the news.
No, that's a bit. It's your personal opinion. Let me put it that way. Okay. If you say Akute Road is always in the news, somebody in what is the name of this other place will tell you they always.
They also have their own.
They always talk about it.
Absolutely.
Agbado Okeodo will tell you. Even roads within other places in the state, they talk about it.
Federal roads.
And what's the essence of talking about it? It is to ensure that government hears. And we have a government that is very interested in feedbacks. And we take note of all these things. But you'll agree with me that resources, funds is scarce resources. And it's not something, you can't fix all these roads once. And that's why I keep saying development will come to every nooks and cranny of our society. But it will not come at the same time. We all did economics, and the issue of opportunity cost, we understand what it means. The moment you take a decision to do A, B, C, and D becomes opportunity cost. Because you cannot do all at the same time. That's what I'm saying. Akute Road is being considered. Is one issue the governor is concerned about. He wishes he could have all the funds and fix all the roads. Agbara, Agbado, Okeodo, Akute, and other places needing attention. This is just at the same time he has one or two other federal roads on his hand that must be fixed if we are to get the real advantages of what he is doing in Ogun State. He wouldn't have a choice.
Well,
he personally went to the federal government to say,
this is because when we talk about good governance and the state government is closest to the people, these are the issues.
That we must.
As the airport, they feel that that's something far away. So the road that leads to my house has to be comfortable for me.
And that's exactly why we're talking about these 100 roads. Right. By the time if we fix 100 roads in Ogun State, it will touch a lot of people. But some people will still be left untouched. And to those people, we say it is a continuous project. By the time we fix, if this is what we've been doing, maybe we'll be nearer. But government is succession. You do yours, you leave, and we'll appreciate you for the little you are able to do. Then someone else will come. We'll keep appreciating whatever they're able to do while encouraging everybody to do more than just, the little. A little more than little will take us closer to where we're going.
Absolutely.
And that's the spirit the current governor has. You tell him the resources won't do all these things. I will tell you, how can we do a little more? Yes, this is what we can do. But let's find ways of doing a little more. So his view is that a little, more than a little, takes us closer to where we're going.
Right. Now, let's look at the internally generated revenue of the state. How much this agro-cargo airport will be contributing to that for the state and beneficial.
I'm sure as a journalist who has covered various facets of this, our industry, you know the answer. You just have to ask me.
No, I need to ask you.
Because
it involves you. You are part of this project.
No, yes, that's what I've told you earlier. The rate at which investors, stakeholders, business owners within and outside the country are showing interest, already keen into what we are doing in Ekperu, the Agro-Cargo International Airport, will tell you that it is going to be a huge boost for our internally generated revenue. These business people are not just coming to do business and walk away. They'll pay tax, they'll contribute CSRs, and a lot more. And you must understand that people, the individual is also taxable. The more of our people get to work there, the more willing and able actually they are to pay their little quota into the coffers of the government. the more side businesses, small-scale enterprises that emanates from the businesses that will spring up there, the more income the government gets. Not to talk of the big cargo business owners and industries that will come in. Not to talk of manufacturing plants and that will spring up in that area simply because they have access to ease of doing business, easy transportation, and other facilities that comes with this project. It's a total package to benefit the state in the area of internal generated revenue, to benefit the people in the area of job creation, to benefit business owners in the area of having a place where they could do business with so much ease.
When we're talking about ease, what are we looking at? Perhaps if you could just give us some specifics.
Yeah, the government, like we just
because
mentioned.
electricity, we know, is a major challenge.
Don't forget that recently the governor was in Agbara area of Ogun State.
Right.
To be part of a project where a private initiative for generating electricity. So that's something you can be sure we'll take advantage of when we talk about those who want to do business in that area. It's been done elsewhere. It is working. This governor is a man who looks at this is working for us. Let's replicate it elsewhere. That's, you spoke about electricity. Well, the three of us just spoke about roads. And they need to ensure that all roads leading in that direction receives attention. It is not just the airport and people who do business there that will benefit that, even residents and commuters. So these are, and a lot of other things. When you are a manufacturer, you have your raw material being produced very close to you. You are into service providing, and everything you need is equally within this special economic zone. It makes business pretty easy.
But has the government decided on, these concession plans, considering the interest that companies
already,
and again to the issue of maintenance of projects as gigantic as this?
So there is no wasting time about what needs to be done. I told you it will go operational before the end of the year.
Talking about the concession, the government has agreed that it will handle.
The government is agreeing with people showing interest already. It's not just a one-off. It's not something for one person or something. The apron will be manned by people who understand how to man it and make money from it. Other facilities there will be hangars and what have you. So the concession agreement, the concession discussions are ongoing. Some papers are being signed. Agreements are being reached in preparation for a smooth sailing operation that will give government confidence that here is an economically viable project that is also definitely going to be of commercial benefit to the state and every other stakeholder that will participate in it.
Because this matter of concessioning is always something that generates some level of controversy.
We have a current scandal, absolutely, on the issue.
With regards to
one concession, not our own.
No.
Still within the aviation sector.
But not our own aviation sector.
You're entering
let me chip this in.
You're entering the volatile sector.
Let me chip in this.
All right.
And I'm doing it proudly.
Okay.
The governor of Ogun State, our own Prince Dakwa Abiodun, boasts of a lot of experience in the private sector before coming into governance.
Right.
And in everything he has been doing, he has been bringing that private sector touch in a manner that protects the interest of Ogun State. I can tell you that for free. Check out all the agreements, all the partnership that he has entered into on behalf of the good people of Ogun State. He has been meticulous. This will not be a different story. So for the volatility in the aviation sector, the one you spoke with, it is quite different from our own. Our own is going to be, not that we use the word ease of doing business as a favorite mantra. Right. It is because that is what the governor is very much concerned about. He believes that if we industrialize Ogun State, taking advantage of our proximity to Lagos and our being a gateway to almost all other states, because I doubt if there is anywhere you'll be going from Lagos that you not pass a portion of Ogun State. That is, you can't escape it. Even if you fly over our dear state. And then you can understand how blessed we are. He wants us to, he believes that industrializing the state, taking advantage of all this, we won't need to rely on any other income in a matter of years. We would be able to earn good income and take care of our people. And that's the foundation he is laying now.
All right. Also in the news recently, Otumba Gbenga Daniel, the former governor who is now a senator, was speaking about a bill to transform the College of Technology into an aviation, college in that, Ikene local government, and how that fits into this whole ownership project. I wonder what your thoughts are in this.
Yeah, well, it's a good idea. If the more federal attention we have in Ogun State, the better for us. He's a federal, he's a senator from Ogun State, and talking about a bill that will bring such a thing to the state is good. And it will definitely have one or two impacts on what we are doing in Ogun State. So,
in terms of aviation training.
Since we are talking about aviation.
Now, we saw also in the news the government of Ogun State looking in the direction of SMEs, some monies to be given to them.
In fact, it's ongoing now, sharing money to SMEs. And it's not the first time. Read it up and see. You see, we actually don't, all of us are gradually becoming like our governor. We don't boast about some of these things, but we just tell you that small-scale industry, other business owners in Ogun State are smiling as we speak. I'll leave you to read up the story. They are smiling because the governor regularly looks in their direction. And it's not freebies that, okay, take peanuts. Something you can, a grant you can actually do well with if you keep your books well. And with it goes trainings, regular monitoring, counseling. People, the structure is such that you are not left alone after taking the grant. And you know what that means. Even if you decide that, let me take this grant and go and take a third wife. Because I've been appointed to counsel you, to monitor you, I will go, Madam, this money that we are talking about, you remember, that money, it's for business. Okay. I learned that you are planning to take, I said, no. And because you know my eyes are on you, you may probably just do well for yourself.
Right.
So it's one of the fantastic innovations of the governor to touch on the life of the people directly in an unusual manner. In a very, you come with your ideas. What do you know how to do? It is examined. You are discussed with. And what will it take? Then you are given additional business knowledge in that area where you want to operate. And then you are encouraged to do the best for yourself.
But quickly speak to the issue of, security agencies, the level of buy-in to this, just a few seconds.
The whole sector in Ogun State is engineered and encouraged to be part of this bigger picture of industrializing Ogun and making it a safe place to do business, to live, and other. So the security is part of it.
Especially with foreign investors coming
in, we need to assure the whole world that it is safe to live in Ogun and do business.
Because that's one critical aspect, the matter of security.
Yeah, you need to look at the security architecture currently in Ogun State. Okay. And a look into it will show you what we're doing. We have a structure that partners with the police and other security agents beautifully, and that's why while it is normal for issues to come up, the prompt responses from the necessary quarters in Ogun has assured, yes, use the word assured criminals that Ogun is not a place for them to stay.
All right.
As Lagos is chasing them, we are chasing them further.
Anyway, let's quickly go on a break.
So I hope your state is not the next to Ogun. Is that right?
Our state is far.
It's far away.
So the way she responded, Lagos is chasing them. And you see, one of the issues with being the gateway is when they run from Lagos, they will come into Ogun. If we don't chase them, that's why we have challenges. The government has identified that. And he's not fighting any state. It's just like, okay, let's chase them further towards...
your own state. True.
I know your state is not too far away.
We need to go on a break. When we return, we'll continue our conversation. Stay with us. All right, thank you for staying with us. We're still talking about Ogun State, and we still have the SSA on public communications to Ogun State Governor. That's a special senior advisor to the governor, assistant on public communications to Ogun State Governor Dario Odufowoko in the studio with us. And before we went on the break, we were talking about the matter of security, right, the structure in place by the government. And you have said that Ogun has a particular structure that is working for the state, but that doesn't seem to have addressed the matter of cultism, which is also a concern in the state. These issues also affect businesses and ease of doing business.
But then if you a good look at the issue of cultism, as it happened some weeks ago, you'll agree with me that the prompt response of government nipped it in the bud. You want to talk about cultism in Shagamu? It predates this government. I am from that axis, and I can tell you that the first serious cult killings we had in Shagamu axis was in 2003. Very bloody. And since then, it has become a recurring decimal. And then what we needed to do, as the governor said now, is go to the root of this issue. Rather than running after those boys with knives and whatever on the road, who are those encouraging them? When they run into the problem with the law, who gets them off the hook? Who provides arms and ammunition for them? And for what intent and purpose? And that's why I told you we have a security architecture that is looking deep, thinking outside the box. When the last one happened in the Shagamu, prominent high-profile persons were arrested, detained, questioned, being prosecuted as we speak. You know, beyond, yes, the boys on the street were arrested, a lot of them, many of them. You see, the police will not come and tell you everything they are doing about a particular case. But as somebody who is in government, I am telling you, what was done is far more than what you saw. And that is why you saw some semblance of sensibility returning to Shagamu gradually. It won't go off in just one day. But I can tell you that Shagamu, vis-a-vis issue of cooking, will never be the same again. We have gone to the very root. The governor has closed his eyes to whatever sentiments and interference, and he has directed, deal with this issue. Those boys have sponsors. The security agencies and those who should know would now understand that the governor's opinion, this is spare nobody. You heard of the caliber of people who were arrested. Even when some people tried to impugn politics into it, the governor was unmoved. Other people within and outside politics who are mentioned, go after them. He is the son of such a person. It's not my business. Let him go and explain himself. And then promptly too, he issued the directive that should be a curfew then. And within the period, those weeks, we had the curfew. A lot of sanitizing was done. A lot of people who should come and answer questions, no matter how high. And then he issued a stern instruction that traditional rulers, if this continues within your own domain, you equally become liable. Because
right.
You are the leaders of community, close-knit community where everybody knows everybody. You can't tell me we don't know that. If there are foreigners who came in, there are strangers who came in. What are you looking at? And they are penetrating
able
this
to
way.
identify them.
The approach is different, totally different.
All right.
And we're already seeing a very different set of results.
Okay.
We hope it can be sustained.
It will be sustained.
Right.
Don't hope. Believe.
We'll leave this conversation.
Just leave on this end of this.
Let's leave the conversation here. Dario Odufowoko, SSA on Public Communications to Ogun State Governor. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to be here again. So much laughter.
We'll have you soon. Don't worry.
No, we brought joy with what we are doing in Ogun State, and everybody is laughing.
Absolutely.
Right.
Right. We'll leave it here now.